Oh, hello there. My name is Russ, and you might remember me from such films as, well, the intro to Reforming Church and that time when I had a baby in my arms. I don't take myself that seriously, and so we're not doing these sort of clips to be kind of like, oh, we're very serious, we're a very big church, and, here we are, movies and stuff. We're not doing that. We're just doing it because we feel like we want to really talk about Jesus a lot, and in any way we can, we're going to do that. The reason we do that, and we want to talk about Jesus, the Christ, a lot, is because we're on mission. We're on mission. So yeah, kind of don't take myself too seriously, and this is a globe, it's a nice globe, but we take the world seriously. We take the world seriously, and we take Jesus' call for us to go into the world very seriously. Recently I was preaching through John 17, which is one sermon actually as part of a series, and I was reflecting on how Jesus tells his disciples many times to go out into the world, and he prays for them to go into the world, and how important that is for mission. I think in the circles that I kind of interact with Christian friends, we want to be on mission, but we find it hard to know exactly what that looks like and how to carry out that mission. And I think in John 17, in the middle of that prayer, Jesus is praying to his Father, and we see he prays that, well, his disciples on mission, that they don't go out of the world, and he doesn't want them to be, of the world, but he wants them to go into the world. It's interesting. I'll just read here. He prays this: I do not ask that you take them out of the world, but that you keep them from the evil one. And so he wants his disciples not to be out of the world. In fact, his prayer for them is they're actually to be holy in the world. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I think often on mission, it's difficult for us to work out. We want to be in the world, but the world's so attractive sometimes, and we start to become of the world. Jesus says, as you sent me into the world, so I have sent them into the world. So how do we carry out mission in the world, but not to be of the world? When the world's so attractive, what do we do? I think the key word here that Jesus shows us is the word into. So Jesus' prayer for us as his disciples on mission is that we're not of the world. We're not to be kind of, those that just look like everyone else. We're to be distinct, holy, set apart, those people who are God's people. But also we're not to leave the world, flee the world and kind of get away from it. Rather, we're to be in the world, but it gets tricky. The key word is into. Why? It reminds me of when bushfires happen. I grew up on a farm, and I was in the New South Wales version of the CFA, so the RFS, and we used to fight bushfires occasionally. But now I don't, and I've got a wife and a little son, and if bushfires come, what do the ads on TV tell us to do? If bushfires come our way, the ads on television tell us to see the text message, pick up the phone, and run the other way. Right? That's what we're supposed to do. But there's a group of people who don't run the other way. In fact, if we're driving away from the bushfire, you'll see them. They don the high vis, they get in the red fire trucks, and instead of going away from the bushfire, they drive into the bushfire. They're not lighting the fires, they're not doing that sort of damage, they're fighting the fires. They're actually bringing what needs to be done to the fires. And that's what I think, kind of what it's like to be missionaries on Jesus' mission going into the world. We're not to be of the world, not like it. We're not to flee from it, but rather, we're the world with its danger and its hatred that Jesus says of his disciples and of Jesus himself. We as missionaries on Jesus' mission, as holy missionaries, are to go into the world. And that's our mission. Yeah, I don't take myself too seriously, but we want to take these words seriously. These are Jesus' words. This is what he prays for his disciples. This is his prayer for you and me. So may it be as part of Reforming Church, as part of whatever church you're in Bendigo and beyond, that we go into the world. Even when it's hard, even when it's really kind of difficult to know exactly how to interact, may it be we take that good news where it needs to go. Grace and peace.